neutral corner. In the neutral corner.
2, 3, 4.
Let's go to stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 21 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world,
Welcome to In the Neutral Corner. So, UFC 287 has come and it is gone, and made some good predictions, made some bad predictions, but, you know, first and foremost, Israel Adesanya is now and again the UFC middleweight champion. I think Bruce Buffer should start saying that instead of "and new," because he's not a new champ, right? He's been the champ before, you know? He should be like, "and again," or "once again," you know? That's kind of stupid, but I was just thinking that last night. No, but Izzy got it done. He didn't get it done the way that I thought he needed to, which is really cool. It doesn't matter either way. I thought he was going to have to use his wrestling. Turns out, didn't use any wrestling at all. He decided that he was going to use Alex Pereira's aggression against him. And it's actually really funny because I was just watching Tank Davis's last fight in boxing. And he fought this guy for 6 rounds. And it was a 12-round fight, but for the first 5 rounds, it's like he was just downloading, computing, you know, what this guy was doing. And then when this guy would get him cornered into the ropes, he would let all his technique go and tee off and just start throwing these punches and trying to knock out Tank. And in the 6th round, Tank capitalizes on that, because when the guy goes to throw his left, and he went to throw the right, but it was hip high, and Tank launches a straight left hand down the pipe, knocks the dude out, you know, as a counter punch, using his aggression, using his momentum against him. And that's what Izzy was doing tonight. Again, I had Izzy winning the first round, and then the second round, I mean, I don't know. Pereira could have won that first round, I guess. It was closer than the first time. Pereira's striking was closer than the first time. And the commentators alluded to the fact that, you know, it looked like Alex didn't respect the power of Adesanya, and that's why he was just rushing in there. But I don't get that, to be completely honest. Why? How? I mean, I'm not saying that they're wrong, but how do you not respect the power of a guy that you fought 4 times now? Like, he hurt you in your third fight, the MMA fight. He hurt you, had you hurt bad, you know, more than once. Their second kickboxing fight, right before Izzy got flatlined, he was hurt. Alex was hurt bad. And then the first fight, Izzy should have won. It was a shit decision. And we know that. We know that there's shit decisions in MMA. So, you know, still, you know, I watched the stoppage, and he was landing some hard shots on Izzy, but still in that first fight, I feel like they could have let it go just a little bit more, and those guys would have been 1-1 or 2-2 now. So you still have a good case to say it's 2-2, because that first fight, Izzy should have won. You know, the first kickboxing fight. Either which way, you're probably going to see one of these again, and I do foresee it going very similar. You know, I think it took 4 fights for Izzy to download him. But I feel like Izzy's got him, figured out now. He's got him well scouted. So I predicted for Izzy to win. However, it's not necessarily what's best for the division, because your top guys right now are Paulo Costa, who's already fought Izzy and looked like shit. You've got Robert Whittaker, who's fought Izzy twice, lost both of them, dominated the first one. The second one, I'm a big Whittaker guy. I like Whittaker a lot. But the second one, it seemed like he was just happy to make it to the, to the decision. Now Chimaev is a wild card in there, and he might actually be able to beat Izzy. But Izzy's also just a sniper dude. He's a sharpshooter, so it's just going to be very interesting moving forward, because there's a lot of matchups we've already seen. And Alex Pereira, all these interesting matchups, he's got to go through these contenders again. Kind of sucks, because it'd be cool to have all these big fights like this. It would be cool to have all these big fights like this, but for the title, it just would add another level of prestige to like a Robert Whittaker versus Alex Pereira. Could you imagine that? That'd be a fucking banging fight. Paulo Costa. That'd be an amazing fight. But we've already seen the Izzy ones. Although, my prediction was right. Izzy Adesanya took the W. In the co-main event, we're in Miami, in the hometown of Jorge Masvidal. And he was taking on Gilbert Burns. And I made my prediction that Jorge Masvidal would upset Gilbert Burns. And I was wrong. Jorge Masvidal was out-grappled and was outworked. And he said in this post-fight interview that he just doesn't have the same feeling stepping in there anymore. And I feel like you could tell, you could see that. And fighting's hard, man. If you're not into it 100%, you're not going to be competing at that level, at all. I mean, because there are guys that is all they do. They wake up, fight, go, and wake up, train, go home, wake up, train, go home. They don't have business ventures. They don't own a rolling paper company. They should, but they don't. They don't own another, 2 other fighting promotions, and they don't own, other businesses that take away from their attention. And at this level, that's what you need, and you see it all the time. And it's not a knock, because it's what you should do. Once you start getting older, and this fighting thing is so hard to maintain. That's why it's so interesting to watch these higher level guys, because they made it. I've been doing this for 11 years now, and I've had 2 major ACL surgeries, a major wrist surgery. I've had countless injuries, concussions. Then put on top of that, having a family and working full time, it is possible for me to achieve my dream and get some wins and be able to make it to a big league. However, there are guys that they don't have to. They haven't had those injuries. They've been able. Their body's been more durable. They don't. They don't have a full-time job because they're able to follow their dream and pursue it. And that's not a knock on them. That's a disadvantage for me, or people like me. And Jorge has got his hands in so many pots. He's got so many irons and so many fires that I feel like it's a distraction. You saw it with champions all the time. Tyron Woodley, Conor McGregor. You see it. There's countless more, but you see it. Ronda Rousey. Movies come, interviews, rap music, rock music, all this stuff that they get involved with, and then their focus is taken away. And I think that's just where George was. Gilbert Burns looked fantastic. Like I said, his takedowns aren't the greatest. They were just body lock powered takedowns, but they worked. And once he got on top of Jorge, he couldn't do anything. Now, in the post-fight press conference, he claimed that Jorge was slippery, like he did that old trick. And what he's talking about is there's an old trick that you get lotion or Vaseline or Abilene or whatever, and you wipe your whole body down and just leave it on there and then wipe it off. And a couple hours later, wipe your whole body down and you're letting your body absorb this stuff. And then when you sweat, it's coming out in your sweat and it makes you really slick and slippery. So, that's interesting. But hey, man, it is what it is. I followed a couple guys that did that. I've also followed a couple guys that didn't shower for a couple of days and things like that. It's just each one's weird. It's just a different tactic. But I'm glad for Jorge, and post-fight interview was amazing. Gilbert Burns, honestly, I agree with him. He is next for the title shot. He deserves it. Honestly, I feel like he deserves it over Colby. Colby's coming off a win on George. He's coming off a win on George. But I just feel like, Burns and Edwards would be a fucking firefight, dude. Burns has a really good shot at beating Leon Edwards, to be completely honest, in my opinion. That would be an awesome fight. And that's his next thing, is whether it be Leon or it could be Colby, he's fighting for that title next, and should, Kevin Holland fought Ponzinibbio, and honestly, I was wrong on that, guys. I was wrong. I thought that Ponzinibbio would be able to. Kevin fought differently this time. He fought like a fucking fighter. He looked so good, so tall, used every inch of his reach, popped that jab out there. The jab is the most important punch. I sparred yesterday. 12 rounds. It was great. Loved it. Great. With some guys that I'm coaching and like working on some things with them. And one of the proudest things I was of them, one of the things I was most proud of them for, is whenever there was quite a few times where they stopped my offense simply by jabbing, putting a jab right in my chest or in my face or in my shoulder, and would stop that momentum, would stunt me. And that's what Holland was doing. He had that jab out there, and it stifles the offense. The jab is a defensive weapon as well. It's an offense, defense, refense, C-fence, Lee-fence, whatever fence it is all of it. It's a versatile move, and it's the most versatile move. And he used that, man, and he got his distance, and he got his range, and that straight right hand that he landed on Ponzinibbio was just, he uncorked it. It was awesome. And I don't know, I feel like I like Kevin Holland a lot, and I like his mentality of like, I'm just gonna fight. I don't care. 85, 170, I don't care. But I feel like, man, if you really give it your go and you're serious, you could be in the mix for title contention. And you got to pick a lane for that. I feel like, you got to pick a lane. I really think you have a better chance of beating Leon Edwards than you do Israel Adesanya. That's just me, though. So yeah. Then there was Rob Font. He looked really good. The guy he fought, I'm not sure exactly who he was, but Rob Font knocked him out, and he looked really good. I'm not super familiar with Font. I know that he's won a couple big ones, lost a couple of big ones. Don't really know what's going for him moving forward. And then, the prodigy, Rosas Jr., whatever, he took an ass whooping. And he got dominated pretty hardcore. And he was so hyped about this and that and this and that, and talking about being a 3-division world champ and everything. And it's I'm not going to hop on the train of the bandwagon of bashing the poor kid, because he's 18 years old. He's in the UFC. He's living his dream. But of course he's saying the shit he's saying. He's 18 years old. You know the things you said when you were 18, things I said when I was 18? Of course he's saying he's going to be a 3-time world champ. He's got that confidence. But, they talk about old man strength, and there's a difference. He's 18. His body's not done growing. He's not done developing. He'll grow and develop until he's 25. And, everybody freaking out and hopping and talking shit and all this stuff about his loss. Like, it's good for him. He'll get, now he has a reference to what he can work on, and what went wrong in a live scenario. He's not sparring the same fucking people that he's always used to getting taken advantage of. This time he gets to go back and he gets to watch this video and say, oh, okay, he caught me here, or oh, this is how he did this, and I need to work out at getting out of this position. All sorts of different things. And so I don't think these are negative things. And that's one thing I dislike so much about the fight game, is just how harsh people are that don't even fucking fight. Like, how harsh people are that don't even know what they're watching. I can't tell you how many times I hear, well, that don't even look like a hit. It hit him hard. Like, motherfucker, have you ever been hit? Have you ever been punched in your fucking face? Sometimes they don't look like they are hard, and they are fucking hard. It's the person got punched in their head by another trained fighter. Of course they got knocked out. That's how I feel anytime someone gets knocked out. Alex Pereira in the main event. He charged in, hands down, ripping the body. He got cracked on the temple by a trained fighter, a world champion fighter. Of course he got knocked out. It's more impressive to me when someone doesn't get knocked the fuck out. Like, people are tough, and people are, the body is resilient, but the body's also super fucking fragile, and people are super fucking soft. I was thinking of tough and soft at the same time. So we're both. We're a paradox in and of ourselves. We are so fragile, but so resilient. Kevin Gastelum won. God, I fell asleep in that one, man. I'm sorry, but my prediction was still right. So there's that. I got to go back and watch Kevin Gastelum's performance, but he won a unanimous decision. So I don't know exactly how he looked in the unanimous decision. His face was a little beat up. It looked like in the post-fight press conference, but I'm happy for him. I like Kelvin Gastelum, and I think that he would be a fun fight again for Izzy Adesanya, or he'd be a fun fight for Alex Pereira. Alex probably knock him out, but that dude's just got bombs, man. He's got fucking C4 in both of those hands. It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. But you'll notice a lot of guys with like extremely crazy power, a lot of these guys are chinny as fuck. You think about it, Pereira got wobbled in the fight with Izzy in the second kickboxing fight, and I believe the first as well. And he also got wobbled in the third fight, the first MMA fight, and then he got knocked out this fight. The guy's chinny, okay? He's a little chinny, for sure. But his power is like the lights out. But you see that, don't you? A lot of times, oftentimes, guys with that power, that equalizer, that eraser, can't take the same thing. Interesting how fighting styles and Mother Nature works in general, man. And just how the body and people are developed. Some people can take a baseball bat to the chin, and the baseball bat might break. Aluminum might snap in half. And then some people you can just go and blow on them, and they start bleeding, and they start wobbling. They're on roller skates. Like it's crazy, but they can grapple their ass off, or they can kickbox like crazy, but just don't touch their chin. All in all, it was a good night of fights. A lot of TKOs, a lot of KOs. Yeah, I'm super happy with the cards as of late. Just been good fight after good fight after good fight. And anyways, guys, happy Easter. I appreciate you guys listening to me. I appreciate my followers. Love you guys. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Subscribe to me on YouTube. In the Neutral Corner. YouTube is In the Neutral Corner podcast. So give me the support. I need more viewers. I love my regulars, but let's get these numbers going. Let's share. Let's like, subscribe. Let's give me some feedback. Hey, you mumbled too much. Hey, you're too nasally. Like, let's give me some feedback. Let's talk about it. Let me improve this podcast for you. You've been In the Neutral Corner with RJ Summerlin. Godspeed.